Hello, everyone. My name is Arlene Dewdney, and I'm the host of Insights. I'm a transformational life coach, mentor, and facilitator. On the program today of Insights is Jennifer Lyall. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hello, hello. So
Hi.
fun to play with you today.
Thank you so much. Now, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Jennifer. Jennifer Lyall is the founder of the Thrive Client Attraction System. She's an intuitive business mentor. She helps conscious entrepreneurs gain clarity, focus, and trust their intuition so they can bring their million-dollar ideas to life and scale to their next level in business, doing what they love. She works with entrepreneurs around the world to believe in their magic and multiply their income, launching new offers and charging their worth. Jennifer is on a mission to teach 1 million people how to check their inner battery as often as they check their phone battery, and has reached over 50,000 people through radio and podcast interviews, presenting on corporate stages, webinars, and summits. Soon, she'll be launching her certification program to spread this to the world. Jennifer, when she's not mentoring visionaries, you can find her hiking on the trails or camping with her husband, or reading the next book or two to expand her mind, soul, and business.
Yep.
And I want to add that Jennifer also has a degree in commerce. So as an intuitive business mentor and having that commerce degree, that's a real powerful combination. Now, Jennifer, what is it that you do, like as a business intuitive?
So essentially, I blend intuition with business strategy. I take that background from my Bachelor of Commerce, plus my work in corporate, in marketing, and in project management. I blend that with my intuition and help entrepreneurs with really, I'm like an interpreter for their soul, and I give voice to the messages that their soul wants them to hear and follow through on, but they haven't been trusting in themselves to have the courage to actually say yes to that. So these bigger, bolder dreams, actually taking action, following through, believing in themselves. I'm the biggest cheerleader. I see people's truth. I see their potential, and I hold them accountable for showing up as that person, because it's what we're here to do. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Now, we're in a time of change where there's a new paradigm occurring, a new way of doing business. And the old way is not working anymore, and there's a lot of online. How has this new change in paradigm set you up for your current business?
There's an internal awakening, a logical awakening of people being dissatisfied with the status quo and aching for something more, something new, even more, right? That's what's happened in this last transition, these last several years. People have just been confronted with where their lives have been, where their businesses have been, and are they really happy, and needed to take time to reevaluate it. So it's invited people to go in and do some soul searching. And within that experience, then as they're deep diving in more often and allowing themselves to deepen that inner connection, I'm there to support them with that journey as the leader that they're stepping into. So it's about the evolution of who you can be.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to do a full disclosure for our audience. I first met Jennifer at a health show in 2012, and I had a wonderful in-person session with her, and I saw the energy of who she was. And actually, she was one of the very powerful mentors and facilitators in my own life. Now, I wanted to show the audience her original business card.
Yes.
It's it was, your business was titled Your Soul Connection. So Jennifer is all about the soul and the soul business.
Yes.
So she's for soul solution for your business and person. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Now, Jennifer, I want to talk a little bit more about when I got your card. I kept it for all this time. And then in 2012 or 2020, when all those changes occurred, I got the intuition to give you a call.
Yes, I remember that. It was so synchronistic.
Yeah, I had no idea why, but I called you. And at that moment in time, you told me you were starting a new program and if I would be interested in joining. Now, you can tell the audience what that program was.
Yeah, actually, I'd love to tell a story about that. So, here it was probably June of 2020 then. So we'd been in lockdown for a few months, and I was like, okay, I needed to shift things in a big way, because if not, then who knew what the outcome was going to be for my business. And so I get lots of ideas and inspirations and write down thoughts of things that I think it might be a video that I'll create, or a blog post, or some an e-newsletter. And so one night before going to bed, I wrote this little post-it that says, I am ready to be seen and heard. And I still have the post-it here on my desk. And then at that time, I was in a group program, and the leader of the program was saying, okay, I taught you all the foundations. Now you need to go out there and market yourself. And half of the people were like, oh, I don't think I could do that. It's like, oh, isn't that interesting? So I did a post on Facebook and said, hey, does anybody else feel like this too? And there were so many people that were like, oh my gosh, yes, that really comes up for me as well. Then the next morning, and my morning practice is like, okay, so you're going to do this program. It's going to be called Ready to Be Seen. And you're going to do 6 deep dive energy clearings over 3 weeks to release the top blocks that hold entrepreneurs back. It's like, okay. So what was interesting for me in this journey, so I got the inspiration in June, and by like the 20th of July, around that time frame, I had my first group. And I can't remember if you were in the first group or the second group. But the power of just getting the inspiration and following through and taking the action, it built momentum. Because in the past, what I would do is I would launch something and be like, oh my gosh, I hope it works, I hope it works, I hope it works. And then because I was in this energy of, oh my gosh, I hope it works, and worrying about, is it going to work? I was focused more on the doubt rather than the faith and the success. And so I just took it as a game. It's like, let's try it. And so I've now led 12 groups so far through this process with people from 7 different countries. And the shifts have been powerful. It's like peeling back the layers over and over again, because there are so many sessions over such a short period of time. There's the combination of peeling back the energy and then taking action to create new neural pathways and new evidence in your subconscious mind of what else can be possible. And this 1-2 step of releasing and moving forward creates amazing results in people's business. It's incredible.
That's wonderful, Jennifer. Just to clarify that, I was in your first program and I have taken it twice since, so 3 times. I'm now an international best-selling author and speaker, and I'm doing this podcast entitled Insights. Now, I would say that's ready to be seen, and I would say that your program from 2012 or 2020, the energy of it allowed the clearing that permitted me to move forward in my life and transform my life into who I am right now. So I would say that you were the groundbreaker in that transition period of 2020. So I thank you for that.
My
Now,
honor.
now Jennifer, do you have a picture of the Ready to Be Seen program that you are you able to access it on your computer there, that people can see the
Yeah,
image of Ready to Be Seen program?
I do. So just to really acknowledge you,
Mm-hmm.
because it's the results people get really depend on the individual.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody is expecting, is like, oh, you fix me, like somebody coming to me saying, you fix me, it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I create the space, but it still is up to you to surrender and allow the transformation to take place. And you have to be in action.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't take the action to be bold and to go and write these books,
Mm-hmm.
then you wouldn't have seen so much propulsion forward. It's like clearing the slate and then taking that bigger, bolder step.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to explain the experience I had in your program. Like the first day, by the end of the day, I was seeing synchronicities and I acted on those. And so during the week, the second day, so there's 2 days in the week, again, I built on that. So your program of energy clearing is so powerful. I call it with gentleness and ease because sometimes you don't even know it's happening, because how could just something come in your lap so easily? And that's the respect that I have for your program.
It's fascinating because there was that happening for a lot of people. Like another person had somebody just show up and fix her deck for her, like make a deck for her. She didn't have a deck in her backyard, and somebody showed up like, hey, you could really use a deck back here. It was a daughter's friend's father, and he came out with the lumber. She paid for the lumber, but he built it and made her a deck. Like it just landed on her lap. It's just like, wow, that's so powerful. And what's happening is you're releasing the resistance. So there is another participant. She made her monthly income in a week.
Mhm,
And because you're not interfering with the flow
mhm,
from the divine, and
mhm,
you're trusting in it more,
mhm,
you're not working against yourself. You are allowing yourself to align with that more, and then more goodness comes in. So for the Ready to Be Seen program, I think the easiest place for me to share that would be here. So this is where I share about the Ready to Be Seen program. And um, the main thing is that you're standing out. Oh, sorry, I have a early bird promotion on at the moment. You can stand out and confidently make more sales because you're putting yourself out there. So everyone comes to the program with a different objective. Some people are wanting to just feel more confident. There is a person who really just wanted to be able to feel better with marketing herself. And in particular, one thing she wanted to work through was doing Facebook Lives. And it created a lot of anxiety for her. And so she was able to let go of all that resistance, the beliefs, the stories. And after the program, she did her Facebook Live. So here's the one individual that she made her monthly income in a week. Another participant, she actually didn't even get to participate in the program the way she wanted to because her kids were off sick with COVID, and they were all sick. And then her husband went back to work. And so she was there running her business on her own and taking care of four very sick children. and she still had one of her highest revenue months ever. So it's crazy. Um, Kathleen, she had done, so her business was part-time.
Mhm.
And then in the Ready to Be Seen program, she did more in those 3 weeks than she had the previous 5 years. And her husband said, "Who are you?" She was just in action so much. Diane, oh my gosh, she is such a powerful healer. And she was holding back on sharing what she does. And she just felt more clear and energized. And it was just so much easier to take action for her and to share people what she does. So it's really life transforming and business transforming. But when you do the inner work, that's when things get easier in your business. So many people will look for the next system, right? Because the logical mind is like, what am I not doing right? And so you think it's the process or the system or the marketing tactic. But the
Mhm.
truth is that it's only 5% about the strategy.
Mhm. Now you have another Ready to Be Seen program that you're currently launching, and how do people access that program?
So I can share the link in the comments. Um,
Mhm.
so you can join us. We begin on January 30th, and I offer the program about 3 times a year. There is going to be an evergreen version that will be coming out this year as well. But this is there's something special about that container being there live, right, Arlene? Because even as a participant, you get access to the recordings, and
Mhm.
every group is different. So every group you went through was different, right? Because I channel in the moment and take people through the clearings in the moment, and it varies based on the dynamics of the group, the participants. It's what
Mhm.
they need. And so I channel that in the moment. And so it's different every single time. And I go back to the recordings too to support me in my evolution and my growth in my business.
Mhm. Another thing is you have a program called Check Your Inner Battery. Can you tell us what that is about?
Yes. So thank you for asking. And because you did mention it earlier, I am on a mission to teach 1 million people how to check their inner battery as often as they check their phone battery. And this is a really simple system of pausing to check in to see how you're feeling physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And as you start to do this check in on a regular basis, multiple times throughout the day, you create what psychologists call active awareness. And this level of active awareness helps you to be more self compassionate, more aware of what's going on inside of you. And then instead of just pushing through your day, if you discover that, oh my gosh, I'm only a 5 out of 10 physically and a 6 out of 10 mentally and a 4 out of 10 emotionally and a 5 out of 10 spiritually. Whoa, that's really in the suffering zone. And
Mhm.
so if you can imagine then, if you're in the energy of suffering, you're infusing that into everything that you do. Every
Mhm.
conversation you have, every email that you write, every presentation you make, it's all there in that energy. So then once you check in, you have a choice. Am I going to push through if you discover your numbers are low, or am I going to boost up? Because when you're in the thriving zone and you're an 8, 9, or 10, man, that's when you're in that flow state. That's when you're really creative. You're able to problem solve. You're just way more productive. It makes
Mhm.
a significant difference.
How do you connect people with that Check Your Inner Battery program so our audience can be um, added on to your number, so to speak?
I
That's the
do teach
goal.
it. Yeah, I do teach it through my website. You can go to jlyall.com/energy. And
Mhm.
I do teach the process of how to check your inner battery. And with that, it's from a thriving client attraction perspective, because the most of the people that I work with are entrepreneurs. So this is about helping people with getting into the right energetic state in order to be able to attract more clients. But
Sounds
the
wonderful.
essence of the system is there.
Thank you. Now, Jennifer, you're also a best-selling author. Can you
Yes.
tell us the title of your book?
Yeah. So the one that's currently out is called A Beginner's Guide to the Soul.
Mhm.
And then I'm working on my next book, which is about teaching how to check your inner battery.
Wonderful. And you also a speaker as well, and you've been in the corporate world for a long time. So, so you also are available for speaking engagements as well, I understand?
Yes, yes. I have done some workplace wellness events. I've spoken at conferences for entrepreneurs as well. I've opened events because I'll take people through a meditation or also how to check their inner battery. It's a wonderful theme to be weaving into a conference for people to start to create the habit of checking the inner battery and then
Mhm,
seeing how they go through the experience of the conference too. It up
mhm,
levels the experience of the events.
mhm. Now, Jennifer, what other programs do you offer? Can you just describe some of the containers that you have in in
Offers
your
right now?
on your website and what
Yeah.
you do so that we can have a more insight in what you actually do.
Oh, thank you. So for people who are reaching for their first six figures, I have a 3-month one-to-one container where I help entrepreneurs with getting clarity on what it is that they want to create and then cleaning up the energy so that they can step into that new level of leadership. So, with it being 3 months, we start to dive in, we get the clarity on what the offer is going to be, we create a plan, and I'm there to support you as you start to implement the plan. And if things come up of like, oh, I can't do that step, I don't know if I can do that, reach out or make that offer or share in whatever way, I help them with releasing the blocks that stop them from taking the action. I also go much deeper for entrepreneurs who are already at six figures and are reaching for multiple six figures or might be reaching for seven figures or multiple seven figures. And this is about really mastering your energy, mastering you for how you show up in your business. So, this is for entrepreneurs who want to go to a much bigger leap in their business. They have a solid foundation for how they operate, but they need to reinvent who they are in order to get to that
Mhm,
next level. It requires a total deconstruction of who you've been so you
mhm.
can step into this magnificent visionary leader that you know you are meant to be.
Sounds wonderful. Well, is there anything more that you'd like to add to let our audience know about you?
Well, I feel like there's a little something for the audience to get out of the conversation, not so much about knowing about me, but about knowing about themselves. And I would encourage you to give yourself the time and space to create, to be playful, to let those imaginative juices be flowing so
Mhm,
that you can tap into what's really calling you to be a bigger, better version of you. All we are designed for is to be more. And it's not meant to be stressful, but it's just the evolution of a person through their lifetime, right? So just like a tree continuously grows and grows and grows and grows, we are also meant to grow and grow and grow and grow. So especially if you're feeling a little stagnant or a little blah, or like, I'm kind of holding back, give yourself the space to really reflect on what brings you joy. And
mhm,
if you feel like you don't have any clarity around that, just start to do things that bring you joy, whether it's cake decorating, roller skating, going for a walk in the garden and stopping to smell all the roses. Whatever that is for you, just do yourself the favor of immersing yourself in joy. And then the more time you spend in joy, then you start to get these amazing ideas that are an energetic match for that vibration. And those are the clues of what's calling you forward.
Wonderful. Now, how can the audience reach you or anyone who's interested in your program? What's the best avenue or the different avenues that you have for access to you and your program?
Thanks for asking. So you can visit my website, jlyall.com. And then from there, you can also get linked to my Facebook page. Um, Facebook is where I spend most of my time. I'm also on Instagram as well. And we can include those in the description of the video just to make it easier, in the comments of the video, just to make that easy for people to link to if they feel drawn to this conversation. I'm really about seeing people in their full potential. I love seeing the possibility of what there is to step into. And for me, it brings me so much joy thinking back to our first engagement over a decade ago, and knowing your potential and knowing that you're being called for something more, and to see you stepping into her, seeing you claim that, seeing you rise up to be her, because it's been in you all along. And I'm so excited for the lives that you're here to touch, the transformation you're here to bring, because I know the power of what you do. You have this incredible undoing. Like, it's just the way you're able to see and witness and channel the truth. Wow. Look at world.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And I really so much am in gratitude for you to have this conversation with me. And I want to thank you for your part in my life in the energy clearing and allowing me to be the next level of who I am. And for others that you've helped that have also up leveled their own self and business. Now, one thing I want to make a comment on is, as a person, I always look at how was I before I met that person or did that program? How am I after? I keep that in mind, and I always keep that gratitude of how did that happen? So these synchronistic meetings with people or taking a program, I would like to invite others to recall the benefit that someone in your life came and made. And I think that's why I reconnected with you in 2020. I had your card all this time, and then that opened a gateway for me. So, I mean, it's like gratitude all around, and I appreciate you. I thank you, Jennifer, so
Oh, it's
much.
my honor. And you had to take the action, right? Because there's the one step is, we all have access to information, but not everybody implements. And that is what you took on as well. You're like, that's it, world. I'm here. I'm declaring it. I'm ready to be seen. And yes,
Yeah, ready to
you
be
are.
seen. That's such a powerful program. And on that note, I really so much want to thank you for being on the program of Insights.
My honor.
And I'm Arlene Dewdney, and this is Jennifer Lyall. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.